So something like Fate is another standalone romance. It's kind of coming of age, young adult category, but it still can be read for adults. And it is about this young woman named Lo, who is a first year college student, and she comes from a long line of female psychics in her family who have this very special gift of being able to, I guess, what's the term? To We'll edit this out. And they have this very special gift of being able to foresee who their soulmate is going to be. And so she, unfortunately, is the only person in her whole family who just doesn't have any psychic powers whatsoever until she has this vision about her soulmate. And she believes that she's going to meet him in Italy. And luckily, she is about to venture off for the summer on this backpacking trip through Europe with her best friend. And that's when all the shenanigans ensue. So she goes with her best friend of a couple years who she definitely is not in love with. And they go through Europe and they do sightseeing and connect in ways that they didn't think that they ever would. And yeah, that book was really interesting to write because there's the love story, and then there's also all of the travel aspect of it, and then of course, like as you mentioned, the family element, and the I guess just the women in her family who have these abilities. And it was really interesting exploring that and also their dynamics together, because she has these two aunts that both have really big personalities, and other older females in her family as well. So it was really interesting dynamics to play with. You can still travel on the cheap. It's just you have to be willing to sacrifice a lot of quality when it comes to being in the hostels and the food and whatnot. But yeah, I've been lucky enough to have gone to Italy a couple times. Once in high school, where we did things on the cheap, and then another time on my honeymoon, and then the third time, which is when I really decided, okay, I love it here. This is my favorite place. We are setting a book here. And I had done a 3-week road trip from the north of Italy in the Dolomites all the way to the south. And so that's how I knew all of the geography of Italy, and was able to plot the fictional trip. And so yeah, it was really just, it was logistical. I had to just write down a list of exactly where they were going to go, how they were going to get to each place, how long they were going to stay in each place, and then layer on top of that all of the plot and emotional beats that were going to happen. So it's very similar to plotting a regular book where you plot the action and the character arc, but then on top of that you just have to make sure that logistically all of the travel makes sense and the settings. Her original psychic uh, prediction is that she sees her soulmate in Venice. So Venice is kind of the starting point of the book. She's like, we're going to Venice, and that's sort of where things plot wise kick off, because she does what happens in her vision happens, where she almost gets like crushed by a trolley of luggage, and a really good looking man comes and saves her. And so this is the person that she believes is her soulmate, and so that kind of starts the rest of the things that happen after that. So we have Venice first, and then I think after that they go to, I want to say, Rome. And Rome is sort of where her feelings really start to develop for this character. And at the same time, she's also beginning to doubt certain things about him. And this is where her best friend is becoming very supportive and swoops in when he ditches them. And then at the very end, without spoiling things, in Amalfi Coast is sort of where uh, they things change in terms of what she believes is going to happen and then what actually happens. So it's, yeah, each location has sort of a bit of a turning point for her in the book. It really depends, honestly. For a book like something like Fate, it needed a strong outline just because of the travel aspect of it. But I think for most of my other books, where location doesn't necessarily matter, I I tend to outline it very roughly first. There's not really a lot of dialogue when I'm trying to plot first. And then once I open the Word document to actually type, I do something called zero drafting, which is just typing it all and telling myself the story and understanding what's happening. So there is dialogue. It does not have any dialogue tags or action tags. It's just words. And I have to figure out who is saying what later when I go back. But that's generally when a lot of the banter and the back and forth is happening. But I would say I tend to go back and add then description and all these important things that you need in a book. And around there is when I start to hone the actual emotional aspect of it. And a lot of times the characters come to life for me in terms of their personalities and their likes and their dislikes and their backgrounds, in those second and third passes. So that's when I'll add more things that are very personal to them. And sometimes that is more banter, that actually makes sense for the character.